Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our webinar to explore the structured way of successful data migration to Oracle Cloud. Let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Jansi, Director of Marketing here at Rite, and I'm the moderator of today's webinar. And I'm glad to have each and every one of you joining us from around the world. Our virtual stage is shared by two industry leaders with a wealth of experience. First, we have Bala Murali, Head of Innovation and Center of Excellence here at Rite, a seasoned professional with 20 years of hands-on experience in cloud, infrastructure, and application management. His strategic acumen has consistently delivered outstanding results across diverse industries and geographies. Joining him is Raj Kamal, Head of Products at Rite, with 22 years in the Oracle ERP space, contributing significantly to digital transformation programs in Europe and US across various industries. Before we dwell into our main discussion, I will give a quick snapshot about Rite Software. We are a global IT solutions provider founded in the year 2006. We are headquartered in Houston, Texas, and we operate globally with offices in London and Bengaluru, India, along with an offshore delivery center in Hyderabad, India as well. At Rite, we bring not only vast industry knowledge, but also a rich Oracle experience that spans across various sectors and regions. We have been at the forefront of empowering organizations with a comprehensive suite of services that includes business advisory, consulting, implementations and rollouts, major enhancements and customizations, data warehouse and BI solutions, managed services, and staff org as well. In addition to our services, we take pride in our suite of SaaS products designed specifically to complement the Oracle ecosystem. These products are crafted with a focus on enhancing the efficiency and capabilities of organizations with the Oracle framework. With over 350 resources and a remarkable track record of serving 150 plus customers, Rite Software is an Oracle certified partner and a NetSuite solutions provider as well. This is about us. And finally, towards the end, we will dedicate time to a comprehensive Q&A session via the Q&A feature available on the Teams, where our speakers will address your queries. If we can't cover a question during the session, no worries. Unanswered questions will be collated and addressed in a follow-up blog post on our website. So make the most of this opportunity to participate in the discussion. Without further delay, I will give it over to Bala and Raj. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Appreciate you being here. Today, we are going to dwell into the world of data migration. Our agenda today unfolds like a roadmap, guiding you through the complexities, introducing a powerful solution, ConvertRite, exploring a seamless migration approach, and finally offering implementation insights to build confidence for a secure Oracle SaaS journey. The data migration challenges are as common as lines of code. One of the recurring challenges clients face is the complexity of their system landscapes. Often we see a heavy reliance on single employees for crucial data extraction. This can lead to bottlenecks and vulnerabilities. Additionally, the lack of uniformity in data architecture across systems becomes a significant hurdle, especially during transitions like moving from EBS to cloud. So what can we do about it? The first step is to unlock down the data sources. By securing these data sources, we establish a foundation for a more controlled and a secure data environment. Understanding where the data resides and aligning it to Oracle becomes a subsequent process, especially in an environment with multiple systems. Now, let's shift our focus to another critical aspect, the loading challenges. Loading, whether using FBDI, HDLs, or ADFDI, presents its own set of challenges. Often there is a struggle to get legacy data to match the format, content, and structure expected by Oracle. Populating legacy data into the required fields in FBDI templates adds always another level of complexity. To untangle this web, make sure to have an UX tool for mapping source fields to standardized cloud templates, accelerating the cloud data migration cycle. Moving forward, let's address another common challenge which comes out with incomplete functionalities. In our dynamic environment, new features and functionalities are constantly released from Oracle. However, it's not uncommon to find that something you need isn't available. Specific examples include challenges with project contract, mass bank and branch upload, and item revision levels. To navigate this, leveraging REST APIs and SOAP APIs to help achieve some of these functionalities that may not be readily available. And we have observed that Oracle Financials and HR tend to be the more stable modules compared to manufacturing and projects. So you should always orchestrate your data flow not only with FBDI and HDLs, along with REST APIs and SOAP APIs when there is a need. Another roadblock many of us encounter is the limited database access to SaaS. There is no direct way to query data from the database for error details. Although we have tools like BIP and BICS, they are not straightforward approaches. This often leads to build custom reports to understand just error details. In Write, our approach involves building pre-validation checks. Think of it as a turning on light before entering the room. With Write's 150 plus validations, we ensure a smoother data extraction process and a data migration process. Our query tool that helps extract error details from interface tables effortlessly. And let's talk about scope creep, the unexpected twist in our migration narrative. It's like ordering a pizza with a surprise topping you did not ask for. New business requirement pop up during testing. Suddenly we are navigating new legal entities and new business units between HCM and finance. To handle this, we emphasize include all relevant parties when defining the enterprise structure. It's about avoiding surprises when everyone is in the loop and to have tools which can smoothen and accelerate the migration journey. I hope these insights provide valuable perspectives for you. Let me hand over to Raj, who will walk you through to Write's ConvertRite, which can enable you to solve the above problems as well as more.
Thanks, Bala. Hi, everyone. We are going to talk about the ConvertRite that was developed by Write Software, which will overcome all the challenges that we just saw in the previous slides. If you look at the capabilities of ConvertRite, it's a ERP agnostic platform. When I say ERP agnostic platform, we can move the data from any legacy or any ERP system to another ERP system or legacy system. So in this context, we are going to talk about the usage of ConvertRite tool of migrating the data from various legacy or any other ERP, known ERP systems to Oracle Cloud. It comes with a rich dashboard in terms of managing your project lifecycle management. When I say project lifecycle management pertaining to data migration cycle, inclusive of breaking down the task, assigning people to the task, and tracking the completion of the activities. We have extensive mapping capabilities like 1-to-1, 2-to-1, and 3-to-1. To give an example, you can do a simple transformation of transforming the payment term from net 30 to 30 net, just providing the mapping set. It can be a single mapping entity, or it can be a combined of two entities, or it can a combination of three entities to one in your cloud. You can do a formula for a particular field to validate in terms of date format, or the master data validation of like supplier, employee name, etc., etc. You can do a constant injection of the data for a particular field. You can do a prefix and suffix to some of the data that you want to transform it. The platform comes with the ability of single sign-on. You can copy the functionality at project, object, and lookup sets. The product comes with the inbuilt capabilities of reconciliation, dashboards, and reports by count or by amount, because when you go into the master record, it always on the count. When it goes into the transactional record, it will always be the amount. So it can be done by both. Some of the salient features of the ConvertRite is it's a no or low code platform to minimize as much as possible so that the functional team can start using this instead of any technical interventions. Easy migration of ConvertRite configuration across pods with a click of a button. So whatever that you have configured for your lower environment, which is like your CRP or development, can be copied into the higher environment like SIT and UAT and further on. Built-in adapters for Oracle EBS for almost all the objects that we have it in a BDA template. Along with it, there are certain entities from the JD Edwards. A real-time synchronization of lookups, master data, and configuration in order to validate some of the transactional data, such as AP invoices, AR invoices, and some of the lookups provided in the BDA template. Built-in project management tool, as discussed in the earlier. And we do have an extensible user hook. Many of you know in the Oracle world that user hook is used in predominantly in EBS world. So we have a similar kind of flexibility provided in the ConvertRite platform, which can allow you to write a complex transformation program, because often you encounter the major transformation of your supplier and customer, because it works on the TCA architecture where any ERP will not have the kind of customer model and supplier model. So that's where the extensible user hooks will, help you in terms of moving the data to cloud. So moving on to the ConvertRite overview, how the data flows from your source to the target, which will be your cloud application. On the left side, you can see all the source systems that have been highlighted. So Oracle family like EBS and JD Edwards, we do have a connector in terms of extracting the data. That means you don't need to invest in your team to extract the data. We already have the extraction available in our product. Where there is a non-Oracle product, we can accept the file. It could be a single file or could be a multi-file for a single entity. Or we can directly connect to your source database, which is running on Oracle. We can extract the data based on the taxonomy of your data structure. So once the data has been extracted, we do create a template, just similar to a BDA or HDL template for a source data. It is patterned by right. So we have a mechanism to create a source template. And then we do the mapping of your source data to the target, which could be your BDA or HDL template. And then we do the validation of individual entity and individual data level. We can do that mapping of the data. And once we does the validation, then the transformation takes place of your data. Suppose you have written some complex transformation logic to transform your customer data or supplier data or item master. It does the transformation. Once the transformation is done, you can download the FBDA generated file from the ConvertRite itself, because ConvertRite will create a FBDA file, because Oracle will allow you to accept only the FBDL or HDL template only in order to push the data into the UCM server. So you can download the FBDA template from ConvertRite. You can validate it. That can be your mechanism to get the sign off from the business. And then you can push the data into cloud from ConvertRite itself. We sync back the data from the base table as well as from the interface error table also for the reconciliation purpose. We also link back the lookups configuration data in order to validate some of the transactional data when we are migrating it. Moving on to some of the use cases. So we have migrated data, HCM data from Workday to Oracle HCM Cloud for one of our customer. It was a challenging environment where we need to migrate 5,000 employees plus 200 contractors in a span of 10 weeks with 15 countries in place, along with 3 iteration that they required. It's a stringent project timelines, along with the complexity of localization requirement. So we overcome with the help of ConvertRite. We could save 20% of the budget. And because of the tool and the limited time, we could able to achieve the high accuracy of data conversion, which led to the seamless cutover period during the production go live. It's a fully integrated solution, and you could see the unified view across all businesses. Now, moving on to the next case study, where we have migrated the JD Edwards data to Oracle. So there are complexity involved in terms of non-availability of FBDA templates to give an example for project contract data and bank and branches. Then the non-functionalities are kept outside the system, and we have a complex transformation logic and reconciliation rule that are required by the client. The outcome of the exercise is, we manage through the REST APIs and the SOAP APIs wherever there is no templates are not available or provided by Oracle. The elimination of manual tracking of validations formulas across pods, because otherwise you need to track everything manually in the Excel. Once the transformation logic is built, it takes a few minutes instead of days, because when you're transforming the data, if you have to do everything manually through Excel and populate the data into a PDF template, it takes hours and days, because the supplier model and the customer model, the amount of data that you need to transform is huge, and you need to keep a track of all the validation that you're putting it between each and every pod. So this will eliminate all the complexity, and it will reduce your timeline and meet your the SIT start or the UAT start on time. So that's where the ConvertRite helped in terms of achieving the timelines with a shorter data migration cycle. Moving on to the next case study, where we have migrated data. It is ongoing exercise where we are migrating the data from AS 400 to Oracle Cloud. The data structure is very old and a lot of data that we need to populate. We have a connector built into the AS 400, which is one of the critical point in terms of extracting the data. And there are a lot of transformation logic that we need to build. We need to skip some of these records while validating, because to extract the legacy in full dump, the challenge is, it is some of the business lines are already in cloud, and we are rolling out for another line of business where you have some of the master data already lying in. So when we get the data, we get the data for the entire dump from the entire enterprise. So we need to skip the data which is already there and then load only the remaining thing. So it is to an extent that you get the data for the new site also. For example, if you take a customer load where they have already created with 5 site number, now they are with the addition of few more sites are coming in, the extracted data will have all the 7 site numbers. Now we need to skip the 5 and load the 2. So such kind of elimination of already existing data and load only the new data was one of the biggest challenge that we had overcome on the supplier and the customer. And similarly for the supplier bank, where the supplier is generated with the new number in Oracle, but the legacy number is stored in the site level. When we load the supplier bank data, it was given in the old legacy number of supplier. So we need to map to the site number and then figure out the new and then load the data. So there are such kind of, lot of complexity involved in that data transformation. We could overcome in all, and we are still doing it. So with that, I will just give a quick glimpse of the product, and then we can go into the Q&A session. So let me share my screen. Okay, so with the limited time, I am just going to show the entire process from extracting all the way to load to the cloud. It's all happens in the single page. It's called cockpit. You have auto and manual. Auto is for where you have a connector, and manual is where you do the file upload. So you can select the pod for which you are migrating the data. You can select the project name and just put it auto. Okay, so I have done previously so that it reduces our time. So you can select the pod, you can select the project, you can select the supplier, parent entity, you can select individual object, or you can select the whole objects of the supplier model. Provide the batch name for reconciliation purpose. You load the data, click on this button, you will load the data from your legacy application or EBS into the ConvertRite platform. And then you click on the transform button where it does the transformation of the data, and it will give you the completed percentage along with the failure record and the process record. So you could go and find out why there is an error, and you can correct the error back to your source, or you can proceed with it. When you reload, the existing data will give an error out. The remaining data will push to the cloud. And once you transform the data, you could generate the FBDA template, and then you can load the data by clicking on load, cloud load import, provide the parameter for the particular object, and that will import the file into the UCM server. Once it is done, then this is the reconciliation dashboard that we have it. This is the standard offering from the product. But as mentioned, that we can provide the reconciliation dashboard and the reports by customer, because each customer has a different requirement in terms of seeing the reconciliation report. So you could see what has been extracted, what has been validated using the formulas and the transformation logic, and what has been migrated. So you could see all this green color which are passed through it, and where you see the red color because there was error happen. You click on the error records, it will show you why the error had happened. With that, you can go back and correct the record. It could be problem with the mapping missing, or it could be problem with the extracted data. So once you rectified the records, then you can reload it and you will continue to the same process.